Hi again. In this video I will talk about post and get in details. If you already know these, just go next to the next video. If you don't know, I will discuss in details how post and get works and how the data sends using a PHP or something like that. So to get started with post and get, I will open a new tab and I make sure click right and I click inspect and I go to the network tab. Okay, that's good. So when I go open my browser, I say google.com and I click enter, I send a get request to Google server. If you see, this is all the thing that happened in my get request. What I'm interested in is this one, which the one have 200. If I click on it, you see I request this URL and the method I did is get. I send get request to Google server and they send me this data back. Okay, and this 200, that means the connection was okay, and this is another information about the server. So this type of anything I type it here and I click enter, that means I'm doing get request. When I go to here and I say bootstrap whatever forum example, then I click search. What I do here a post request. So if I go here to in the top, hopefully this one, yeah, this one. If I click here on that request, I will see I sent to Google request and I did post request to Google server and whatever. This is all the data for the post. So to understand this example in details for the post and get, I will use a basic form. If you go here to SWA, that we have it for this course, there's a page named index. Index page is very basic page. This have some header, it requests some bootstrap thing, just make the page nice, and it have a form. This is what we are care about. The form has two fields. One of them was inputs type email and the ID is email and the name, and the other input is a password and the ID is pwd, and this is check if you want to remember or not, and this is submit. If I just browse this page, so for sure I should go SWA index.php. That's I will not talk about how we set this server about PHP server. You should know already how to set up PHP server, so I will expect you already have it set up, PHP, ASP, whatever. Then you request that page. So you see this is the basic page. So if I just click inspect again and I look through the console, sorry, not console, to the network, and I request the page again. So if I see here, there is many requests going to the server beside my request because there's a bootstrap request. You know that I have some headers for bootstraps, so there's a bootstraps. What I'm care about the request for the index. So if I click on it, you look to it here in this way. Let me just make it bigger. So there's a request went to this server, which is my local server. So as a get request, the port 80, and this is some details about the get request that I send it. So if I just send some data to the server with my request, I click this sign and I say name Okul Hussein. Just for example, I click enter. That's mean if I just click on the request, I would see this is my request URL. I send name Okul Hussein. And this is the query string parameter. The query string parameter, I send only one parameter, which is name Okul Hussein. I could send more. I could say and password Okul 1234, enter. So now in this case, if I click the request, I would see the name Okul Hussein and password 1234. In the server side, to read this data, I could add here a PHP code. I would say a PHP, and this PHP code just echo whatever been in the whatever I have it in the get. So I display everything I have it in the get. So if I just call same page again, I would expect I have array here because the post is array. So I make sure I say print R for the get. So I'll make sure print the array. So now if I request the page again, you see like what is sent is array and have a name Okul Hussein because I said name Okul Hussein, and it have a password equal 1234. So the server was able to get whatever I have it in my GET request. So I could say, for example, whatever I want to do with this information. This is the server side. So on the server side, I just want to print all the information. Or maybe I just want to print only the name that sent it. So I could just say, okay, get, please print to me whatever you have it in the name only. And I could do it in this way, name or cool. So when this is name, there's a request name, send it to the server. I no longer need to print R anymore because I'm getting only the name. So I print the name. So if I click enter now, I should see the name equal Hussein. Now I no longer need the password, I'm sending only the name. So name equal Hussein. This is get request, name equal Jenna. I send the name as a request to the server. So that's mean in my HTML page, if you see inspect, I just have simple HTML, same one that I have in the server, and this is what get printed. If I don't send anything, the name will be nothing because there is nothing sent to the server. This is what we name it is the get request, that hey, I'm sending something to the server and ask server for information. There is another request which is post. So if I just say again same thing here, but instead print R for name, I say print R for post. Okay, post. So whatever you have in the post. So if I just click enter, I don't have anything now because I'm not posting anything to the server. But if I say my email is nethenewbag.gmail and 12345, this is my password, and I click submit, that means I did send something to the server. But here I have something, the URL, my URL have some problem here. My form action, I just could say index without colon. So my request will go correctly to the server. So now if I just have this page, I just refresh this page. And I say, okay, this is the email and the password 12345. I click submit. That means I send a post request to the server. If I just go to the network, I should see that post. If I click here, this is most important part you should focus on. So if you see here what we sent, I send email, then Newbag that password 1234. How that happened? If you just go to the code, any input field will be sent to the server when you click submit. When you click submit in any form, and the form has action to go to specific, have action to do. So what the submit do will send any field you have it with the name and value, whatever name, email, and whatever the value you have it, whatever the value I have it here, the new Baghdad, he sent me name, the new Baghdad. Same thing for the second field, which is the input field, which is the password. The name is PWD and the password was 1234. The server send them, or the post request send them to the server, so the server should be able to read this information. So now still I'm getting this, but just wait a second. I see what I have, printer, whatever you have it in post. Just wait. So now if I just try to, if I just go back here and I remove a name, what will be sent to the server when I click enter? Let me just make sure, load the page again, and I say name, whatever password I put, click submit. If I just go to this request, I see only the iterate send it. He did not send the password. Even the password is input field because it doesn't have a name. So the form will go iterate through all the input field have it in the form and make sure if the field have a name, it will get the name and the value and send it to the server. If the input field doesn't have a name, it will send you. It will not send it. It will not consider it as a submit in the submit part. So name value will go to the server as you see. In the server, we just want to print this. I say echo print anything you have in the post, but this one doesn't work for some reasons. Post. So post now should tell you whatever he have. I'm not gonna trusting in this one. So if I say whatever, well, I'm not getting anything here, an example, but it's better to read the value, whatever I send, email. Let me see whatever echo, the email will be whatever you have it in post as an email, and the password I need to print whatever I have it in the post as a password. So I'm getting whatever I have in the request as a post as email and the post as a password. So now if I just click enter the email and password, there is nothing. But now if I send some email 1 2 3 4, click enter, I should see, oh, okay, I don't see anything in the server. Why? The server should be able to get this post thing, because I'm posting. So post, because here the form I didn't add the type is post, so I didn't say the method type is post, because I did mention post. He wasn't able to read anything. So if I just go now again, this is simple JavaScript issue. So now if I just send it 1 2 3 4, click enter, I should be able to read the email and the password. If I want just read all of them one time, I could do what I did in a few seconds ago. I say print or post anything in the post. So now anything in the post, there is nothing. But if I just try to pass something, I click submit, the server should be able now, hey, there is an email, this is the email, and there is a password, this is a password, and I could read this element from the array as you've seen. So what I wanted to get from this video, just how to do post and get, and you understand how we could track them here in the network, and how to read the request value by saying add get, and read the post value and saying add post. So here we're done. Thank you for watching and see you next.